welcome back to my Let's Play of Mass Effect 3. I thought it would be nice to basically show the other endings as well. Technically there's another 3 that I can follow. You've got the destroy option and you've got the synthesis. But first off, I heard a rumour that there's a 4th, which is this.
So be it.
The cycle continues.
If you're hearing this, then there is still hope. Hope that you can avoid the same mistakes we made. We fought the Reapers, but we failed to stop them. We did everything we could. We built the Crucible, but it didn't work. We fought as a united galaxy, but it wasn't enough. I only hope the information in this capsule is enough to help you before it's too late. My name is Dr. Liara Tassoni. Herein lies the recounting of our war with the Reapers.
Did that all really happen?
We'll never know exactly what it was like, but yes, the archives tell the true story of those who came before us. They fought a terrible war, so we wouldn't have to.
And that's why we have peace.
Yes, without everything they accomplished, without the information they passed down, we too would be threatened.
What else do we know about the Shepard?
Just what we have in the archives. But I've only told you a few of the stories.
Can you tell me another one, please?
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
So that was the kill the kid option. So moving right on, gonna leave synthesis for last. Let's go over here and go for the destroy option. Just so much debris. Sorry I'm moving so slow, it's just the way it works. Okay, here we go. Almost there.
All fleets, the Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point. I repeat, disengage and get the hell out of here.
Joker, listen. We have to go.
Damn
Damn it. The war is over. The Reapers have been defeated. Against all odds, and in the face of the greatest threat this galaxy has ever known, we survived. We suffered many losses. The relays are severely damaged, but we won. This victory belongs to each of us. Every man, woman, and child. Every civilization. On every world. Now, as we take our first steps toward restoring what we lost, we must remember what it took to win. This wasn't a victory by a single fleet, a single army, or even a single species. If this war has taught us anything, it is that we are at our strongest when we work together. And if we can put down our grievances long enough to stop something as powerful as the Reapers, imagine what we can achieve now that they are defeated. It will take time, but we can rebuild everything that was destroyed. Our homes, our worlds, our fleets and defenses, all of this and more. Together, we can build a future greater than any one of us could imagine. A future paid for by the sacrifices of those who fought and died alongside us. A future that many will never see. And while we still have many challenges ahead of us, we can face them together. And we will honor those who died to give us that future.
Did that all really happen?
Yes, but some of the details have been lost in time. It all happened so very long ago.
When can I go to the stars?
One day, my sweet.
What will be there?
Anything you can imagine. Our galaxy has billions of stars. Each of those stars could have many worlds. Every world could be home to a different form of life. And every life is a special story of its own.
Tell me another story about the Shepherd.
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
And this is the last option for me. Synthesis. So, let's see what happens here, shall we? Just takes a little while to get up there. Still going. I don't think I've ever chosen this. In my first playthrough of Mass Effect 3 all those years ago, I chose the destroy option because my character's motivation then
All fleets, the Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point. I repeat, disengage and get the hell out of here.
Joker, listen. We have to go. Damn it.
I am alive. All of us, synthetic and organic, have been changed. The war is over, and the Reapers are helping to rebuild. Where once they threatened us with extinction, they now bring us the collective knowledge of the cultures that came before. As a galaxy, we can now live the lives we have wished for. Taking our first steps into a new and wonderful future, where organics and synthetics can coexist peacefully. With peace across the galaxy and with unlimited access to knowledge. To recover the greatness that was lost. And surpass it. We will reclaim our worlds and the stars. As the line between synthetic and organic disappears, we may transcend mortality itself to reach a level of existence I cannot even imagine. And we will remember that this chance for a new life did not come without cost. No matter how far we advance, we will remember the sacrifices of those who made it possible. And we will remember Shepard. Because of him, I am alive. And I am not alone.
Did that all really happen?
Yes, but some of the details have been lost in time. It all happened so very long ago.
When can I go to the stars?
One day, my sweet.
What will be there?
Anything you can imagine. Our galaxy has billions of stars. Each of those stars could have many worlds. Every world could be home to a different form of life. And every life is a special story of its own.
Tell me another story about the Shepard.
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
I hope that you enjoyed the additional endings to the game. During this sequence I'm going to have the main endings running in the background, because what I need to talk about is what I think about Mass Effect 3 in regards to the Mass Effect trilogy 1, 2 and 3. And it all comes down to what you're seeing in the background, that one ending. So where do I come from? I've played Mass Effect 1 at least 3 times on each platform: PC, PS3, Xbox 360. I've done the same on Mass Effect 2, again PC, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. At last account, I was working on my nightmare playthroughs when Mass Effect 3 was released, and I played Mass Effect 3 and I completed it, and I never played Mass Effect 3 since. When I was thinking about trying to do something for a Let's Play to go onto the channel, I thought, given the opportunity, it'd be nice to do a Mass Effect sort of playthrough. I did toy with the idea of actually starting with Mass Effect 1, but the story of that game and everything about it is great, but the mechanics of how the game runs and how it works is very clunky. So I decided to just start with Mass Effect 2 and then go into this. When the Mass Effect series was first conceived, they decided that they wanted to have a trilogy of games whereby the decisions would carry over from one game to the next, with the idea that everything that you do matters. The way that they interpreted this idea of Mass Effect 3 is war assets. Depending on what you did in the previous games, you could end up with more or less war assets going into the end of the game, which would possibly limit the options that you have when you get to the catalyst. Because my effective war assets were so high, that's why I had all 3 options, and I had the good endings for each of those. In total in the game, I think there's about 7 different endings: 3 destruction, 2 control, 1 synthesis, and shoot the glowy little kid. But on a narrative point, when you followed a series like that for so long, and you get to when you're having the conversation with the glowy kid, it just comes out of nowhere, and the decision that you're forced to make, you don't have enough information to actually make the correct decision. They talk about the destruction option and it destroys technology. Well, does that mean that biotics are destroyed in people? Because that's a technology. Equipment in suits, which would have really affected Quarians. Obviously you've got the Geth. It doesn't really give you enough information to be able to know what will happen. Perhaps that was the intentional thought behind it, is to throw something completely new. But it just throws the entire pacing of the narrative completely off. It makes it... You could play the game completely renegade, and then at the last moment do the right thing. Or you could be completely Paragon and you could go completely evil at the end of the game, depending on how you view the options presented. It reminded me a lot of the recent Deus Ex game, not the Mankind Divided, I think it's Human Revolution. Sort of, you had all those choices through the game that could affect the narrative, but at the end it just came down to a 3-button choice, which was not affected by your decisions. And the other thing, that the way that they ended the story is it effectively stopped the franchise dead. If they was to continue the franchise, and we've got Mass Effect Andromeda coming out in a couple of months' time, but because of these endings, they are forced into the situation of having to go do a big time jump and go to a different location for the setting of the story. Because if they was to try and continue the Mass Effect universe in the same location, they've got to decide that one of those 3 endings presented is canon, is what actually happened in the universe. And this is something that they did. They wrote themselves into a corner in regards to continuing the franchise. The last bit with it, with the glowy kid, from what I understand and from what I've read, was entirely conceived out of the 2 lead people on the Mass Effect series. All the writing team that gave you your Mordin Soulless Death and everything like that, they was not involved in the end. And to be honest, it quite frankly shows. I am excited the fact that we have another Mass Effect game on the horizon, but we will never truly be able to find out what happened in the universe that we shared with Shepard, just because of the way that they wrote the end to the game. I mean, it's not new to do an end of a game where the main character dies. Just look at Dragon Age Origins. That one, you have an option to be able to make the characters sacrifice, or you can live through the end of the game. But in a long-term situation, that hasn't really affected Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition. With the way that this ending works, it means that they're very much restricted with what they can do. I think this is why we haven't seen anything new about Mass Effect, because they've been trying to work out what to do with it. It's going to be interesting in the next couple of months when Andromeda hits. Given the ill feeling of Mass Effect 3, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be against it. A friend of mine has very kindly pre-ordered the game for me. I don't normally pre-order games anymore, but it's sort of my Christmas birthday present. So I will be doing a playthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda on this channel. And I don't know what to expect from it. I think that's a good thing. For now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to shut myself off from any information that's coming out about Mass Effect Andromeda, just so I have as little expectations for the game when it comes out. If I go in with low expectations after how this all ended, I may be pleasantly surprised by it. But if I go into the game expecting it to be of the same or equal stature as, say, Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 1, I honestly think that it's going to let me down. But yes, so on that note, I've basically explained both sides of how I see the game in the previous episode as the game on its own, and I've explained that basically, in my opinion, out of the 3 Mass Effect games, when looking at them side by side, I think Mass Effect 3 is the weakest one. But I think that's about all that I need to say on the subject. So I'm going to let the video carry on running in the background, and I hope to see you next time when I start a new Let's Play. But this one, it's going to be a blind playthrough, so wish me luck.